You're more comfortable.
And yeah. Okay. Well, that's helpful. The other thing that's helpful, which long term is much more valuable. So that's right. Smart people, but never able to do much of anything.
I took both of their courses in China, right? So this course is
Good morning, everyone. Welcome to this very exciting event. My name is Joseph Wong. I was the director of the Asian Institute from 2005 to 2014, a position that I happily served in, and I'm very happy now to be the Ralph and Ross Halbert Professor of Innovation here at the Monk School, and also Professor and Canada Research Chair in the Department of Political Science. And this is an event that I've been looking forward to ever since the idea was conceived by both Scott and Asif a year ago. This is a really exciting opportunity for us. It's a really exciting launch. Wendy and Paul talked about a whole-of-country approach to how we engage with China. I'd like to think of this, at least in terms of the sponsorships for this exciting project, this is a whole-of-university approach to putting together this fantastic project. So let me begin by thanking all of the sponsors and supporters of this project from the very beginning, notably, of course, the Asian Institute here at the Monk School of Global Affairs, the China Open Research Network, which was started by PhD students in the Political Science Department working on China. And I'd also like to thank the Political Science Department for their support of this project as well. In addition, we've had great support from the Faculty of Arts and Science, from St. Michael's College, from the York Center for Asian Research, SGS, the School of Graduate Studies, the School of Public Policy and Governance, as well as the Rotman School of Management. I'd also like to take this opportunity at the outset to thank, as always, Eileen Lamb and her staff. I know that Asif and Scott have leaned heavily on Eileen and her staff from the very beginning to coordinate not only all of the fantastic academics and thinkers that are in this room and getting together and marshaling together this fantastic collection of papers, but also putting together this great event in which we can have many of the participants and contributors to the volume here, but also members of the community, both inside and outside of the university, who are, of course, interested in the topics that are going to be discussed here. I'd also like to, from the outset, thank my co-conspirator here, David Mulroney, who needs no introduction. Of course, he was a former ambassador of Canada to China. He's the author of an award-winning book on China and Canada relations. He is a senior fellow here at the Monk School of Global Affairs. He's also now the president of St. Mike's College. He continues to be, and I hope will always be, an inspiration to our colleagues and to our students in his role as a former ambassador, indeed as a national voice. He has been a convener of a national conversation about Asia, and he continues to provide us with not only his expertise, but his support as well. And he is going to be moderating the panels this morning, and he's already warned us he is going to be an active moderator. I'm not sure what that means, but I trust that he, before anyone else would know what that means. The timing of this book, of course, is extremely fortuitous. As some of us are political scientists, you would think that maybe we had predicted the election results here in Canada. We didn't actually predict the election results here in Canada. And so the timing of this publication and the timing of this convening of leading thinkers across Canada was not motivated by any forecast in the elections, although we are, I think many people in this room are very buoyed and energized by what are supposed to be new directions in Canada's engagement in the world. The timing of the book actually was motivated by the fact that we are, in many ways, in a moment of great flux, particularly as we look eastward, or as we look across the Pacific, to Asia more generally, but to China specifically. And I say a moment of flux in the sense that we are experiencing China, and I'd like to think we have been experiencing the rise of China over the last couple of decades as an inflection point, and an important inflection point in which Canada-China relations, I think, pivots and hinges. I'm not a China expert by any means, but I have had over the course of my career many opportunities to engage in conversations in China and about China, and I've had many opportunities to reflect on what I see to be this important inflection point. And a couple of things stand out in my mind. I remember about a decade ago, I was at a conference in Beijing at the Chinese Academy of Social Sciences. And I asked one of our colleagues in Beijing, I said, you know, could you imagine the international financial center moving from New York and London to Asia? And she laughed at me. She said that would never happen.
By the recommendation to establish a business portal. Can you just say a few words about that? I thought that was a very practical.
Well, the thing is, like, this is going back to the rule of law question. There are many cases where, for example,